But first, to the big primary night, setting the stage for the midterms. That's just 5 months away. Voters in 8 states will tell us what's most important to them, what's on their minds right now. It could be it's taxes in New Jersey, climate change in Iowa, gas taxes in California, health care, and more. Tonight's outcome, again, could have a big impact on the midterms. To California Democrat Governor Jerry Brown and union-dominated Sacramento, they have rapidly turned the state fiscally upside down. That's what Republicans there say. The state and local governments there now owe more than $1 trillion in debt. Democrat policies have, according to the Republicans there, increased taxes, increased housing costs, energy costs are more expensive than neighboring states. All of that, that's no small irony. Income inequality is increasing, and the state is now a safe space for criminal illegals. California no longer generating income faster than its rivals, Washington, Oregon, and Utah. Half of California's tax revenues comes from the top 1%, and nearly half of the Bay Area say they want to leave. A whopping 46 are fed up with the region's high cost of living and soaring prices and more. They may pack their bags and go. Let's bring in GOP gubernatorial candidate in California, John Cox. John, great to see you. Your reaction to all of that?
Well, it makes me wonder why I want to be governor of this state, right? But, you know, I think we've got a lot of challenges here, and the Democrats have only made it worse. I like a challenge, Liz. We need to get back to reality. The Democrats have made this the highest tax state in the country, and Gavin Newsom has made a promise to the people of California. He's going to double the state income tax. He's going to raise property taxes, and he's going to defend the gas tax, which has pushed the price of gasoline over $4 a gallon, way more than our neighboring states. I think the people of this state have had enough, and that's why they're going to elect me in November.
You know, John, I mean, nonpartisan Pew Research says California has the most volatile finances in the entire country. But here's the thing. Yeah. You are in liberal California. President Trump is not liked in liberal California. He is endorsing you. Let's show the president's tweet endorsing John Cox. John, will this help or hurt you?
Oh, I think it'll help. I'm honored to get the president's endorsement because he's a businessman who's trying to get results, and he is getting results. I mean, you just talked about it. The NASDAQ hit an all-time high. Unemployment, especially among blacks and Latinos, is at all-time lows. But you hit the nail on the head. The inequality in this state is horrendous. And the reason for that is because the Democrats in Sacramento are literally crushing small business. You know, Liz, I'm a small businessman. I started at the bottom and worked my way up. And that's how people climb out of the lower class. The idea of having your own business and being able to make it in America. It's almost impossible to do that now in California. That's going to change when I'm the governor of this state.
And they want, you know, it looks like Gavin Newsom wants Medicare for all. That cost of that could be triple the size of California's entire state budget. Yep, and it's socialized medicine. People won't get the care that they expect.
Look at the VA.
Yeah.
You know, do you want to wait in line for 6 months in order to get a procedure? You know, you could die waiting for that. You know, the last thing we want to do is centralize more money in corrupt Sacramento. We need to have better health care. We need to have affordable health care.
Okay.
So we need to, you know, look at other options like telemedicine and innovation.
Let's get to the sanctuary state policies. Look at this.
Yes.
A liberal Democrat candidate running for mayor of San Francisco. She says she is the founder of the sanctuary law in that city. She wrote the city's original bill. She spoke to Tucker Carlson. She's now outraged over how the original sanctuary law has been twisted beyond recognition. Watch.
I'm against it because when I wrote it in the early 90s, we did not include violent felonies. And they amended it in 2013 and 2016 to include covering violent felonies. That's ridiculous. Called me all sorts of names and said this was outrageous, that I would be attacking the sanctuary law. I am not attacking the sanctuary law. I am attacking violent felons. They should not be protected under the sanctuary law or any other law in San Francisco.
What's going on, John, in California? People are attacking Angela, calling her a Nazi, a fascist, and a racist. What is happening in that state?
It's crazy. This law is unconstitutional. It'll be wiped off when I'm the governor. And, you know, it's about protecting MS-13. I don't want MS-13 protected. I want them out of this country. I want them out of my state. And you know what? they attack the immigrant communities the worst. So if these people who are shouting racist really cared about communities of color, they would want us to get rid of MS-13 and really do something about the safety in their communities.
But is this shutdown of people like Angela Alito working in California, name-calling?
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think most people feel that the sanctuary state law is wrong. They certainly don't want, people going door to door and pulling grandmothers out of their homes, but they want criminals gone from this state. MS-13 does not belong here. I agree with the president. They are animals. And we need to make sure that California is safe for all of us, and that's the first role of government.
Are you worried about the controversy over at the border with children being separated from their parents?
I am. We got to get a fix to this. I want to work with President Trump. I want to work with the Congress. See, that's what business people do, Liz. You know it. You're from the business world. We look to solve problems. The politicians like Gavin Newsom just like to have them for partisan issues. They like to have the dividing point so that they can pontificate and get a lot of news attention. I'm for solving the problems. I want to work with the federal government. I'm for a border wall. There's no question about that. But we also need to make sure that we get a solution that protects the DACA kids and also deals with our need for workers, frankly.
John, why are Democrats allowing illegals into the state of California?
You know what? I don't know.
Is it for votes?
I think they're looking for more. They're looking for more votes. I think maybe that's it. I mean, I think it's a noisy few, though, Liz, that seem to have a lot of political sway. Most people in this state don't want to get involved in politics. They just want to live their life, make a living, feed their families, save for retirement. And the politicians in Sacramento are making that almost impossible, which is why you see poll results like you quoted. 46% of people in the Bay Area want to leave. I got to tell you, it's probably that way all throughout the state.
Arnold Schwarzenegger couldn't change Sacramento. I mean, he tried, right?
He did, but you know what? One of the things that I'm going to be doing, Liz, is I'm going to work to get the special interest control out of the legislature. That's the problem with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He didn't deal with the legislature. We've got to change it. We've got to get the power of the special interest money. It's all about corruption there. I'm going to try to propose some reforms that are going to get rid of that.
John Cox, great to see you. Come back soon. We love having you on.